Good morning. This is Mike Houston with your Wednesday morning hazard briefing for southeast Idaho. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we see the low-pressure trough, which brought us precipitation yesterday, is clearing to the east. We are seeing some drier conditions working into southeast Idaho from the west, but you don't have to look too far upstream. You see some disturbances here working in through the flow, which will impact the region here over the next several days. Looking at our forecast, cloud cover and precipitation. Clouds would be the white colors here, and the precipitation would be these blues and greens. Here we are looking at the forecast chart for this afternoon. We see a ridge developing along the northwest coast, and some precipitation spilling over the top of the ridge along the northern Rockies here. May clip Island Park region this afternoon with some light shower activity. Looking at daytime highs today, should be nice temperatures for this time of year, generally running in the 50s, maybe even to 60 degrees down here in the eastern Magic Valley. And if you get up into the mountains, it'll be generally in the 40s, maybe lower 50s here in some of these valley locations, and similar readings here across the southeast highlands. As we advance to Thursday on our forecast chart, you see that upper ridge now squarely over southern Idaho, dry across the region, with temperatures warming across southeast Idaho. Here we are looking at highs in the 60s throughout the Snake River Plain and 50s in the Central Mountains and southeast highlands. As you advance to Friday, you see the first in the series of disturbances now working into the northwest coast with precipitation, at least the leading edge of associated precipitation now working into the Central Mountains Friday afternoon. Probably see a little bit of wind with that in the afternoon. Don't have that graphic here for you, but probably 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout the Snake River Plain as that storm system pushes east along the Canadian border. We should see our warmest temperatures here on Friday. Here we are looking at highs again on Friday in the mid-70s here in the eastern Magic Valley, lower 70s here and 60s in the upper Snake River Plain, certainly in the 50s to lower 60s in the Central Mountains and southeast highlands. As we advance to Saturday, that low-pressure system pushes east along the Canadian border, but we have some secondary energy dropping into the northern Great Basin, and we're beginning to spin up a closed low circulation here, which will drift into the Great Basin. As a result, on this particular model, we look to pick up some fairly decent precipitation amount. Yesterday, we were seeing 3/4 of an inch up here in the Central Mountains. Now it's down to about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, so a little modification over what we saw yesterday, but certainly some decent precipitation across the central and northern mountains here, and a little lighter amounts here across the southeast highlands. As we advance into Sunday, this is where differences begin to show up on our models. This particular model, as I said, is trying to spin up a low circulation here across the Great Basin, so consequently we're seeing some fairly elevated precipitation amounts here across the eastern Snake Plain and the southeast highlands. Here we are looking at almost an inch of precipitation in this band here along the southeast highlands. But if we were to look at one of our other models, this disturbance here in the Great Basin is significantly weaker. We're just seeing some light precipitation along the Utah border, so we'll have to see how that one pans out for Sunday. By the time we get to Monday, that system passing off to the east, we're relatively dry. As you can see, some weak disturbances now topping what looks to be a shallow ridge developing across the northwest states. So we may see some showers associated with this passing to our north, and maybe impacting the Central Mountains with some light showers. Again, this was Monday afternoon. We get to Wednesday, we get another disturbance pushing into the northwest area, maybe a little deeper and stronger than the one I just showed you, which may bring us some precipitation to the region by Wednesday night into Thursday. Taking a look at river levels today, a big sea of green across most of the region. We do see the conditions here at the Port Neuf at Pocatello is right at action stage or bank full conditions, so we'll probably be issuing a statement for that this morning just to talk about the high flows. We also have some high flows indicated here on the Snake River downstream of High C, and that's generally just an informational stage for us here. We're not really expecting much to go on there at this time frame, as river levels are pretty much being controlled by releases here out of Palisades. Looking at our forecast river levels, we are anticipating with the warm temperatures on Friday and the precipitation that we'll be receiving over the weekend that we will at least get into bank full conditions here on the Big Wood at Haley and the Portneuf River at Pocatello. Yesterday's forecasts were calling for a minor flood stage, and so we may see some fluctuations there, but looking at these conditions to be met sometime this weekend, maybe early next week, depending on how the precipitation plays out for us. That's all I had for you here this morning. If you had any comments, questions, or concerns, please give us a call here at the number on the screen. Thank you.